And now, another You Can't Comp This episode highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next thing on the feed is Jamal Morant versus Jamal Murray. Now,
This is a game of snakes and ladders, isn't it?
absolutely. And this is really a follow-on from last week's show, but
Yeah.
I will admit this whole Jamal Morant thing has been on my mind. And if you didn't listen to last week's show, basically what we're talking about was the massive slide that Jairus has undertaken. And we're really prospecting on, is he going to be dipping down further, keeping in mind that there's a long time between now and the season starting, and then if he does, very slowly slide down during that time, and then he goes through a suspension of say 1, 2, 3, or 4 months, how much more is this guy going to slide down? So his last sold price was $400 USD.
Yep.
Now, I think the reason why this gets super juicy is because Jamal Murray is now selling at $428 USD for a silver PSA 10. So, which one are you picking up at the moment? Are you picking up the card that has maybe the highest ceiling, being Jamal Morant, but also has the slide down? Or are you leaning towards the Jamal Murray, who's essentially turned out to be a very dependable player? Like, yes, obviously there's that very big peak and trough there. But look, if you remember us discussing Jamal Murray a while back, my shock was with him was how steadily his prices held even when he was injured.
Yeah.
He was out for a good 12 months.
He was. But I think we debated this because there's always the people that don't want to sell because they don't know how he's coming back from injury.
Yeah.
But even after the comeback, people lost faith in him and he dropped off a little bit this year.
Yeah.
I think those people are definitely regretting their jumping off the Jamal Murray train prematurely, I think.
Yeah. Look, I think to me it's pretty evident now that his fan base is quite strong. And I think that injury period sort of reinforces that for me. I think the next thing on my mind too is he's really going to be getting a lot of attention for the rest of this year. Now he's going to be on national TV and in the finals. I think that's going to help his value a lot.
Oh, he's got at least 4 more games of basketball to come this year, right?
Yeah, if we're being honest, Denver doesn't get a lot of attention. Actually, I've got a bone to pick with, not you specifically, but like you and your Lakers cronies. So the Denver Nuggets eviscerate the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Where are the ESPN cameras? Are they focusing on Jamal Murray, the Joker, celebrating with their coach? No. Following out LeBron James to Cancun. That to me is like abysmal and just the worst part about modern.
You should write a letter to ESPN about that.
And can I be honest? You're almost getting me on a rant out, you and the Lakers fans. And can I be honest with you? I'm actually proud that we've spoken about the Denver Nuggets throughout this year. And we're not like some, national media thing like ESPN that doesn't actually talk about the real issues. There's still more people currently talking about the Lakers now than the Denver Nuggets.
Do you know the one thing I haven't done since we got swept?
Talk to me.
Talked about the Lakers.
What are you going to talk about there?
I don't want to. I was a guest on a friend's podcast. We were doing our predictions, and I actually said the Lakers would lose to the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the playoffs, I said we were gonna win our first series. We're gonna win our second series. We're gonna lose to the Nuggets because the Nuggets are gonna win the championship.
They're just a really good team.
That said, Miami look like they might be about to blow a 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
We have a game 7.
I mean, we can probably do spoilers by now, but there was a little bit of luck for that last play for Boston. And
tiny bit. And who was the one that hit the buzzer beater?
Oh, your boy. But
Derek White.
Hey, did you see, though, that the game clock was adjusted from 2.1 seconds to 3? And so if that had stayed at 2.1, it would have been, like, over.
Yep. Conspiracy. Let's not derail the conspiracy theories.
Okay, last derail, and then we'll move on, okay? So, Have you heard about the referee that is being currently investigated and potentially being suspended?
No.
Okay. So I don't think this is probably the forum to do it because, we're a basketball card, not like a conspiracy theory launch. But let me just find his name.
It's not Foster, is it?
No, it's not. I might just put a tag down for this. I'll edit this bit out. All right, here we go. So, if you want to go down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, go onto Twitter and search for Eric Lewis. I might even pin some of the stuff onto a post. So basically, there was a lot of. Did you see the footage of the? Am I still here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. There was the footage of Jimmy Butler making that bucket, then the referee rolling his head in the background. That's actually not Eric Lewis, but I think some of the disdain that people had towards the referees then escalated into them finding out about what Eric Lewis was doing. So he's basically this like diehard Boston Celtics fan, and so is his whole family. And then the record against the Lakers when he referees is 2-30. So if that's true, that's that's not
Wow.
a statistical
No, no, no,
accident.
no.
Yeah.
That's a if you see him reffing a Lakers game, you back the other team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So what we were talking about was Ja Morant versus Jamal Murray. So which card are you picking at?
As much as I like Murray's game right now, and I have to say, Ja hasn't got much game right now, be it on the court or off the court. He's in struggle town. I'm probably buying Ja Morant
Yeah.
just because he's in a slump. I'm looking to buy the jar on the dip because I think there's we might be close to the floor, we might not be, but like that's headed in the right direction to if things turn around to make a bit of profit on that for sure.
Okay.
Whereas Murray, I think I don't know the Denver factor is real. Look at the Joker.
Well, how about you say you're going to buy Ja Morant, and then I'll do Jamal Murray in that case then, because to be honest,
Sweet.
you could argue me either way. So
Mm.
I think the very strong reasons for buying Jamal Murray is that it's more of a safe pick, whereas I think Ja Morant is literally going to be like boom or bust. And I
Mm.
think our friend of the show, Al Kane's, his line with Ja Morant is that he's the next Latrell Sprewell. So maybe that's a good comp, before you dip into Ja,
Wow. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that. And then for Jamal Murray, on the other hand, I think this is more like a steady stock that is, just progressively over the time, either going to hold its value or go up a little bit. The reason why you should be optimistic, though, is I think because of that media thing that we were just, joking about. Even though I'm joking about, it, I'm actually very serious about it. Like, I think there's not enough media attention on this team. This Denver team is amazing,
Yeah.
and I think obviously, the majority of that playmaking comes from the Joker, but a very steady chunk of that comes from Murray. And I really do think that this media attention they're going to get from the finals is going to help his value a lot. And then the flip side of that too is next year there's going to be a lot more games on national TV because the tradition or the normal thing that happens is that the schedules will pick up the champions and put them on tally a bit more. So
Mm.
I think next year they might get a bit more court time too.
Bit more focus as far as
Yeah,
the big brand. Yeah. Yeah.
we had a couple of answers on social media about this, but I think the best answer we had was from Andrew Hewitt. So personally, I think Jar is a buy now. Hear me out. The amount of people who came back into the hobby during the 1920 COVID lockdown period is what shot card values and box prices through the roof. This card, no matter what happens, will hold a spot in most collectors' hearts. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Yep.
I think people need to realize that we have had it too good for too long with no controversy. The greats in today's game a squeaky clean, e.g., LeBron James, Steph Curry. I agree with that 100%, Andrew, by the way. Going backwards in time, it wasn't so perfect. Jordan had allegations of gambling. Kobe had allegations brought into court. The list goes on. What Ja has done isn't illegal, but stupid, yes. His on-court gameplay is what makes him a great player. Think of it like this. It would be your job work that you do, bring up something from your private life, then sacking you with that pay. There's lots of variables that go into card values, but based on the court play, I'm going Ja. And then he just puts in a disclaimer that he's got a couple of PSA 10 silver, and that's fine. It's totally fine to have a horse in the race, Andrew, by the way, mate. And look,
Yeah.
I do agree with that point of view, because if you do think about it, he hasn't had a mortal injury, and it's not that his play has dropped off.
Yeah.
I suppose, the question is, what if he can't get his act together and he's just a naughty boy? And, at some point, you're going to drive your employer crazy, or in this instance, you're going to get the attention of Adam Silver, like essentially the school principal. That's the other way of saying it. And maybe you're going to get expelled. Like,
yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah.
What do you do? I do like, as I said, I would personally buy Ja, and I'd be waiting for probably a month or two to do that. Like, wait for that dip.
I was going to say, yeah, technically the question is, what would you buy right now? But I agree with what you're saying now. I think the time is going to be the time is going to be 1 month before he returns from suspension. So I think if you're serious about this, you need to sit down with a calendar.
Yeah.
Wait for his suspension to be announced, and then buy it a month before.
Yeah.
Like,
Timing is everything, especially in this hobby. Although on the flip side, I do like what Ados has said.
Okay. Do you want to read through that one, mate?
It's a very quick one. Jamal Murray, they might win 3 in a row, dynasty style. The pop count, sky is the limit.
Yeah, the pop's low. He's right. Yeah,
it's a low pop count. It's like, what is it, 180 or something?
He's baiting Lakers fans, man. Don't go for it. 187. You're right. Yeah, it's insane, the comparison, isn't it, between
187.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus what, 1,533. It's a bit of a difference pop count wise. Here is the way that you can get in touch with Russell and myself and be a bigger part of the show. Now, if you follow the link tree to our Facebook group, that is where Russell and I put our mailbags up, our card versus card, our player versus player, our buy, hold, sell questions. All of those will go up on socials, on IG as well, using the handle @YouCan'tCompThis. Now, if you do have a more tailored question, feel free to PM us on Instagram. You can reach out in our Facebook group, and we'll be happy to respond and see if it's something that we can add to the show. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support and love creating this content for our loyal listeners. If you haven't done so already, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. So hopefully we see you when we go live. Thanks for watching.